Welcome to your Marketing ROI workshop. You know me, I'm Keith Kalfas, and we're going to learn the most effective social media and marketing strategies to make your small business highly visible online. This is very important to pay attention to because things are a lot different than they were in the past. You can look up and take down notes when I'm writing if I give you specific resources. You can look up like David Ogilvy on advertising, or like a Claude Hopkins, scientific advertising, and go all the way back to the history of marketing and advertising hundreds of years ago. But since the birth of the internet and everything going completely digital now has changed this entire paradigm. So there's a ton of old school small business owners who don't want to take their businesses online, and if they do, they're kind of pussyfooting it, and they're not going all the way out because they don't understand the implications of that. This is completely detrimental to the success or complete failure of our businesses within the next 5 years. I believe by 2020, moving through that time to 2025, if you're not 100% online with high visibility, then you'll probably be out of business, or you'll be scratching with the turkeys, suffering and broke. So I want to tell you a quick story. Back in 2011, when I was flat broke and facing an eviction notice, and I was working a dead-end lawn care job for like $12 an hour, I was coming home broke, fighting with my fiance at the time, as my wife now, over money issues. And I did a side job with my buddy Dave, he did building and contracting and landscaping. He was like an all-around hustler, but he was a really smart guy. And I went out and I worked with him for the day for like $15 an hour cash. And so we're out there, we're landscaping our asses off, and I knew everything about how to do landscaping, but knew nothing about how to run an actual landscaping business or how to get customers. I always thought that the problem was I need this equipment, I need all this investment money. But the real issue was, how do you just get people to call you and say, I want this work done? So we did this whole job, and it's pouring rain, and we're covered in mud, and he pays me like $160 for the day, and we're driving back, and I was like, how did you get this job? It was on the west side in Michigan. It was like in Novi. I'm like, how did you even get this customer? It was completely, I was blind to it. There's things in life or business or whatever that you can feel like you don't even get it. You don't even know that you don't know. Then there's the next step, is where you know that you don't know. And that was the little breakthrough for me. I was like, I didn't even understand anything about marketing or advertising. I said, how did you get this customer? And he goes, it's easy, Falcus. You go on Craigslist. And at the time, Craigslist was really popping. It's kind of garbage now. It was actually complete garbage, and I'm going to ask him about that later. But he goes, you go on Craigslist, you post an ad in the farm and garden section. He goes, best deals in town. And then you talk about how you'll do their gardening, or you'll do their landscaping, or whatever service you provide, with your phone number and ways to contact you. He goes, and then they call you. I was like, wait a second, it's that easy? You just put out a simple advertisement for free and people will call you? It sounded impossible to me. But in that moment, I had this little breakthrough, and I literally went home. So I was dirty as shit. I walk in the house, I'm all muddy, I take my shoes off, I get right on the computer, and I fire up Craigslist, and I put best deals in town, gardening. And I literally didn't know what to put in the advertisement, because I was basing my marketing at the time off of my emotions, off of my desperation. I didn't understand that there's rules and boundaries to this, of how you communicate yourself as a legitimate business. I was just like in desperation. I was like, best deals in town. I've been landscaping for 10 years. I'm the best. And I wish you could see how good of work I do. I was literally putting this in an advertisement. It was completely embarrassing. And somebody actually called. I was like, somebody called. I pick up the phone. I go, hello. I didn't say Kalfas Landscaping. How can I help you? You know, this is Keith. How can I help you? I said, hello. He's like, yeah, I saw your ad on Craigslist, and I want you to come give me a quote. I was scared, I was shaking, and I went out there, not as a business owner giving them a professional quote, but I went out there as Keith, who was desperate. Like, I didn't understand that there's all this layer of legitimacy you have to build to communicate professionalism. So little by little, as getting into these books and these courses and becoming obsessed with this, I learned that learning how to do marketing and learning the modalities of marketing, the different channels of marketing, that's how you establish yourself online so that people can, when they go on the internet and they look for a landscaping, a window cleaning, a pressure washing, a roofing company, they're looking for legitimacy. They're looking for trustability. They're looking for that. So little by little, year after year, the more you begin to learn this, is the more you grow and you establish your legitimacy online. There's a lot of science behind this, and the more that you learn it microscopically is the more that it begins to hit a macro level, and then it starts to actually you watch it happening like, whoa, we're a totally legitimate business now. We look legitimate online. People are calling us and they're qualifying out companies and they're picking us specifically because we look legitimate. So how do you do that? So I want to go around the room right now, and 1 second. So in this workshop, we're going to be learning about marketing. We're going to be learning a little bit about everything. We're going to be studying. We're also going to be asking a lot of questions to Eric about how he got over 500 positive reviews in his business. How do you get your phone to ring off the hook? We're going to set up, at the last hour of the workshop, we're going to be setting up our entire Google business page, getting it verified, going through our hours of operation, and making a full profile. If you already have a Google business page, then we're going to set up other ones. Does anybody here have a Google business page?
I get 36 calls a day saying it's not verified, though.
That's awesome. So, is it verified?
My website company claims it is, but
we'll make sure that it's completely verified. And anybody who already has all that set up, we're going to set up profiles on other sites to make you more visible online, like Bing, Yahoo, Yext, YP.